Welcome back to Bring the Smoke. I'm your host, Joe, and today we're going to be talking about the science of smoke rings, or as I like to call them, little pink halos of flavor that make all the difference in your barbecue. Now, if you haven't caught the first video in this series, I suggest that you go back, watch that, come back to this one, and then make sure to stay tuned for our third video in this series that's going to be coming up shortly. So when you're barbecuing, the smoke from the wood comes in contact with the outer layers of the meat and starts to do its magic. The smoke contains gases and particles that interact with the meat in various ways, like adding flavor and helping to preserve the meat. Humans have been using smoke as a preservative for likely tens of thousands of years. As the smoke comes in contact with the meat, it reacts with the myoglobin, proteins, and amino acids present in the meat. This reaction produces a pink or a red color known as a smoke ring. The deeper the ring, the longer the meat has been exposed to the smoke and more intensive the flavor it will be. It's like a little badge of honor for your barbecue skills, or like a little hickey on your meat. So you might be wondering, what affects the size and depth of the smoke ring? Well, the type of wood used, the cooking temperature, and the amount of time that the meat was exposed to the gases can all play a role. Using harder woods like oak or hickory can produce a deeper smoke ring rather than using softer woods like pine. Never, and I mean never, ever, 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 use pine. It's like the difference between using high quality ingredients versus buying McDonald's. Cooking at a lower temperature for a longer period of time can also result in a deeper smoke ring. It's like slow cooking your meat instead of microwaving it. And if you don't love smoky, slow cooked piece of meat, then you shouldn't be here. But it's not just the wood and the cooking conditions that can affect the size of your smoke ring. The location and the soil in which the wood has been grown in can also play a role. Trees grown in nitrogen-rich soil or in areas with higher levels of air pollution may absorb higher levels of nitrogen, which can be released as NO2 when the wood is burned. So paying attention to where your wood has been grown can really pay off in the end. The time of the year that the tree is cut down can also impact the moisture and the nitrogen content of the wood, which can also affect the NO2 produced when the wood is burned. For example, wood cut down during the summer months when the tree is actively growing and transpiring water may have a lower moisture content compared to the wood that is cut down during the winter months when the tree is lying dormant. Lower moisture content in the wood can result in the production of less NO2 when the wood is burned. It's like if you're using dry firewood versus using wet firewood. The dry stuff will burn better and produce less smoke, producing the right gases that you need to make sure that your smoke ring comes out perfect every time. Let's dive a little deeper into the specifics. When the wood is burned, it produces a variety of gases including NO2, CO2, and water vapor. NO2, or nitrogen dioxide, is a gas that is produced when the wood is burned at a high temperature. It can contribute to the formation of the smoke ring on the barbecue meat, as it reacts to the proteins, the amino acids, and the myoglobin that is in the meat to create the pink or red color. CO2, or carbon dioxide, is another gas that is produced when the wood is burned. It is colorless and odorless. The gas is responsible for the majority of the heat that is produced when the wood is burned. Water vapor is also produced when the wood is burned. This moisture can aid the outer layers of the meat and keep them from drying out. The moisture can also help soften and loosen the proteins of the meat, making more reactive with the smoke gases and more likely to produce a better smoke ring. So, how does the temperature of the wood affect the amount of NO2 produced in the smoke ring on the meat? Well, as the temperature of the wood increases, the amount of NO2 produced also increases. This can lead to a deeper smoke ring. However, it is important to note that optimal cooking temperature for achieving a deep smoke ring on the meat is between 220 to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Cooking at a higher temperature can result in the production of too much NO2, which can lead to an overpowering smoke flavor and less desirable smoke ring on the meat. It is like finding the perfect balance between too much and not enough. Too much NO2 and your meat will be overwhelmed, not enough, and your smoke ring will be lacking. Now let's take a look at some specific hardwoods and see how they compare in the production of NO2 when burned at different temperatures. As you can see, oak and hickory tend to produce more NO2 at higher temperatures compared to other softwoods like pine or cedar. Please, again, I cannot stress this enough, never use softwoods like pine or cedar. However, it's important to keep in mind that the flavor compounds produced by each type of wood can also play a role in the overall flavor of the meat. It's like if you're using spicy barbecue sauce or sweet barbecue sauce. Both should never be on barbecue meat, but you still use it for that certain somebody that comes over to your backyard barbecue. So when it comes to selecting the right type of wood for your barbecue, it is important to consider both NO2 production and flavor compounds of the wood. Experimenting with different types of wood and flavors can help you perfect the combination for your barbecue meat. And who doesn't love a little experimentation? Like in the kitchen, or in your backyard, or next to your barbecue, with your barbecue, whatever. I'm not judging you. You do what you want. So there you have it, the science behind barbecue smoke rings. It's all about the type of wood, cooking temperature, and cooking time. Also, let's not forget about the location of the soil of where the wood was grown and the time of the year that the tree was cut down. Just remember, if you're trying to impress your friends with a deep smoke ring on your barbecue meat, you gotta put in the work. Or if you're trying to impress that special someone with that deep smoke ring on your barbecue meat, this could be the way to their heart. Issues. Thanks for watching Bring the Smoke, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to keep you informed when I drop a new video, and stay tuned for part 3 of the series where I'll be discussing wood flavor compounds and how they impact the flavor of barbecue meat. Also, be sure to check out all the links in the description down below and check out my merch store. Until next time, keep on smoking.